Good morning, everybody. Welcome to video lessons. I am Sudarshan Reddy, lecturer in physics, Gout Degree College for Women, Ramagiri, Nalgonda district. I am going to teach about multi-stage rocket, scattering cross-section, impact parameter, the distance of closest approach, and a problem in today's class. First, I would like to start with a multi-stage rocket. If we see equation of motion of rockets, the final velocity of rocket depends upon relative velocity of exhausted gases from the rocket and m naught by m value. These two decide final velocity of rocket. To launch a rocket in proper space orbit with less expenditure, so we need to follow these two. How to increase final velocity of rocket. Already we know as the relative velocity of exhausted gases increases, then final velocity of rocket increases, and as m naught by m value increases, then final velocity of rocket increases. That means to increase velocity of rocket, we need to increase relative velocity of gases exhausted from the rocket and the ratio of masses, that means initial mass and mass of fuel, that is m naught by m. So how to improve this? As rocket moves upward, so mass of the rocket decreases due to the consumption of fuel. So in addition to this, if we bring decrease in mass of body of rocket, then we will get more result in final velocity of rocket. So thus, based on this concept, multi-stage rockets are made to import satellites, to launch satellites into proper space orbit with a desired velocity. So now I am going to show the multi-stage rocket diagram on the screen. So first, to attain maximum velocity at the last stage of rocket, so we need to follow these two conditions, these two rules. One is relative velocity of exhausted gases should be maximum, and second one is final mass should be less as compared to initial mass. That is, m naught by m value is more. That means the ratio m naught by m should be more. Thus, by following these two conditions, we can make a proper multi-stage rocket to launch a satellite into proper space orbit. So now I am going to show diagram of multi-stage rocket on the screen. So look at the screen. So there are labels on the screen. The rocket, multi-stage rocket is, diagram of multi-stage rocket is labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Right, at the top of the diagram 1, it is conical shape, and the second one satellite, third one, this is third stage of rocket, and fourth one engine for third stage, fifth one second stage of the rocket, and sixth label is engine of second stage, and seventh one is first stage of the rocket, and eighth one is engine of first stage of the rocket. Thus, in the diagram there are three stages: first, second and third stages. So as we move from first stage to third stage, mass of fuel and mass of body decreases. Just compare the size of stage with each other. The size of first stage is more as compared to second one. Size of second one is more as compared to third stage. Thus, so for one by one stage, mass of the rocket decreases as well as fuel in the rocket decreases. So this is about a diagram of multi-stage rocket. Here in present diagram, three stages with three engines are shown on the screen. Now I am coming to explain the relative velocity of gases exhausted depends upon temperature, pressure and cross-sectional area of nozzle of rocket. Here relative velocity of exhausted gases depends on three factors. One is temperature, another one is pressure, and last one is area of cross section of nozzle of the rocket. Now in present rockets, the temperature is approximately about 3000 degrees centigrade. At this temperature, by adjusting area of cross section and pressure, we may get a relative velocity of exhausted gases as 2 km per second. So this is in addition to this, by using liquid fuel, we can adjust m naught by m value to 10. By neglecting gravitational forces, means weight of the rocket, by using rocket's second law of motion, we can find a final velocity of rocket. So initially it is started from rest, so its initial velocity v naught is 0, and u, so by making adjustments in area of cross section of nozzle and pressure and ratio of masses, we get 2 km per second, and from this, so we can write v is equal to 0 plus 2 into log e 10. Here the value of m naught by m is 10. So from this we can write final velocity of the rocket at the end of first stage is equals to 4.6 kilometers per second. So after reaching to 4.6 kilometer per second, the first stage of rocket will be separated from the rocket. Now second stage of rocket begins to work with the help of engine. Now initial velocity for the rocket is not 0, it is equals to the velocity of rocket at the end of first stage, that is 4.6 kilometer per second. Thus step by step, stage by stage, we will get more velocity for the rocket. Finally we reach to launch the satellite into the proper space orbit. So maximum velocity for it is 11.2 km per second. After this, beyond this, so the rocket crosses the orbit and enter into another orbit. So should not cross this 11.2 km per second. So thus a multi-stage rocket works. Next, I am going to start next concepts. Impact parameter. So it is distance. Before that, if we see Rutherford alpha particle scattering, so on the screen it is shown. Impact parameter, and let n be the nucleus of atom of a gold foil, and p a dash be the path followed by alpha particle on approaching the nucleus. So the path bc represents the direction of motion of alpha particle in the absence of nucleus. So now we can define impact parameter as the perpendicular distance between initial direction of motion of alpha particle in the absence of the nucleus to the location of the nucleus is known as impact parameter. It is indicated by nm on the diagram, and it is represented with lowercase English alphabet p. Now once again let us look into the diagram. Nm is equal p is value of 1. Now this is a perpendicular distance between nucleus at n and the path of the alpha particle in the absence of nucleus, that is represented with mn on the screen, and the distance between m and n is p. It is known as impact parameter of alpha particle scattering of Rutherford. Now let us see another one, the distance of closest approach. So let alpha particle is moving along the path, parabolic path P dash at a distance from the nucleus. So your nucleus is positive in nature and alpha particle is also positive in nature. As alpha particle approaches nucleus, it traverses a parabolic path because of Coulombic repulsive force. So the closest approach a point where Coulombic repulsive force acting on alpha particle on the parabolic path is equal to 0. Distance of the point from the nucleus is known as the closest approach of the closest distance of approach. So I am going to show the closest distance of closest approach on the screen with an. Here a is a point on the parabolic path. The alpha particle reaches a from p. It experiences 0 force. That means the velocity is equal to 0. Now the distance of the point A from the nucleus is called as closest approach of the distance of closest approach, and it is indicated with a lowercase English alphabet b. That means the closest approach is written as an is equal to b. Let us see about this on the screen. The closest approach, the distance of alpha particle at a point from the nucleus where its velocity becomes 0 on its parabolic path when it is experienced with a Coulombic repulsive force is called as the distance of closest approach. So from the diagram we can write it as NA is equal to B. B is distance of closest approach. Nm is equal to P. Here P is impact parameter. So impact parameter, then distance of closest approach from the diagram. So let us discuss about scattering cross section. Now we know what is scattering cross section. So before that, the alpha particles which approach nucleus possess different impact parameters. That means different alpha particles that approach nucleus possess different parameters, impact parameters, but all are scattered from the nucleus. So here the intensity of scattering, that is flux of incident alpha particles, can be written as n. Directly we say n is number of alpha particles, incident alpha particles. Let us consider the solid angle dw. Through the solid angle, how many alpha particles are scattered? Let it be dn. N is initial number of incident alpha particles and dn is number of scattered alpha particles through solid angle. Now scattering cross section is defined as the ratio between dn and n. That is nothing but the ratio of alpha particles scattered through solid angle per unit time to incident number of photons. Number of incident photons is defined as scattering cross section. It is indicated with the letter sigma. It is on the screen. So we can write the value of sigma as dn by n. So alpha particle scattering cross section. The unit for this scattering cross section is Barn. BARN. So let us see the definition of this one. The ratio between number of alpha particles travel through a solid angle per unit time to the total number of alpha particles incident. That is known as scattering cross section. So here sigma is equal to, you can write dn by n. Sigma scattering cross section, dn number of alpha particles scattered through solid angle per unit time, and n total number of incident alpha particles. So this is about a scattering cross section. Now let us see about one problem. So masses of two stages of rockets are 300 kg and 30 kg, and mass of fuel in the stages are 2400 and 270 kgs. Find the final velocity of the rocket if its velocity, velocity of gases exhausted is 2 km per second. So here initial mass m0 is equal to sum of all this, and v0 is 0, that is 3000 kilogram, and mass of the fuel m is equal 300 kg plus 30 kg plus 270 kg, that is totally equals to 600 kg, and the relative velocity of gases is 2 km per second. Right, now velocity at the end of first stage, v is equal to v0 plus u relative log e m0 by m. Here initial velocity of the rocket 0, so v0 is equal to 0 plus u relative is 2 into log e 3000 by 600 gives 5. Thus we can write 2 log 5 to the base e. So that is equal to 2 into 1.61 km per second. Here 1.61 is the value of log 5 to the base e. So from this we'll get v is equal to 3.22 km per second. Now this is the velocity of rocket at the end of first stage. So now this becomes initial velocity for the rocket before going to start a second stage. Now let us take it as initial velocity. V0 is equal to 3.22 km per second. Now mass 30 plus 270, that is equal to 300 kg, and mass of fuel in second stage 30 kg. So now V is equal to V0 plus u log e m0 by m. V0 is now initial velocity 3.22 plus u same 2 into log E m naught 300 by m 30. So then we get 10. So 3.22 plus 2 into log 10 to the base E. So then 3.22 plus 2 into 2.30. Here 2.30 is the value of log 10 to the base E. So by substituting this, we will get finally V is equal to 7.82 kilometer per second. This is the final velocity of the rocket, that is 7.82 kilometer per second. So this is about the problem. So in today's class, we discussed about example for variable mass system, that is multi-stage rocket, and scattering cross section, impact parameter, and the distance of closest approach, and a problem. This is end of today's class.